This is Amanda Hill, and in this video we're going to look at a couple of the things that we get as self-employed estate agents through our package. Now, this is the REC system, and this is where we get sent anything that we need to do something with. So it might be a Valpal lead, it might be somebody who wants to view a property, be it rental, sale, or whatever. But we can also email direct from here, or we can just send messages as well. So I have a very lovely lead here, which means I can now go and do something with it. Now, this is somebody who is asking for a valuation, and they've got what's known as a Valpal lead. Now, what that is it's been out there in the world with some ads of some description, and somebody has asked for an AI one. So they've got a robot that's given them an auto val. So what we can now do is go and contact that person as a real human being and say, actually, I think that might have been a bit high or a bit low. Would you like me to come and do a proper check for you? And in the meantime, please find attached what we can create in something called Sprift. Now, I'm going to show you what Sprift looks like. So this is Sprift, and I'm just going to type in the property and then ask it to do an evaluation for me. Now, there's several things that will happen when I do this. So let's go and have a look. So I can see exactly what type of a property it is. I can see the floor plan, and this is supplied from Land Registry. We're pulling in from all over the place here. So I can see what's sold. Usually I just turn this down a bit and lift it up to see what the heck is going on in the area. Now I can see all of the solds, so these can give me an idea of what is going on in the area. I can see the size of property, so I can see how many square feet it is and what the average price per square foot is. So I can also then see what is currently on the market. Very little in that area by the look of it. And I can see what is sold subject to contract. So that particular location, I know it. I used to drive down this road all the time, and I know where it is. So I can see further down that we've got something here. So when I click on them, it gives me choices of what's on the market and why. I can also see all of the local authority information. I can go and look at gallery of any pictures from any sales in the past. I can see the current price estimate that it's giving me for this. But also I can see the EPC, if there is one. I can see any planning in the road. I can see any building regs in the road, any comparables, and I can see everything that sells in that area. Now that gives me enough to click create and create a market appraisal report. Now I can fill all of these in and get it to do whatever I want. So on the page details, is it a 3-bed, 1-bathroom? Does it have outside space? Does it have parking? I can select all of the pages. You might notice that show price on the cover is not ticked. In general, I don't send that out. I wait until I'm actually seeing the property to do that. Now, it's down to you what you actually put on here, but it looks really comprehensive. However, I don't need coal mining Enfield, and I'm probably not going to put council wards either. I will leave the others, although I know full well that we do not have any radon gas in this area, but it gives a lovely little thing. So just by going down and generating the report, I have choices. An interactive report that I will see when it's clicked and downloaded, although not yet who by, and a PDF. So let's just generate the report. Well, that didn't take very long, did it? And then just generate the PDF, because I'm going to send them the PDF. Now this will take somewhere in the region of 60 seconds or less to actually create, dependent on what, where, when, and what the internet's doing, frankly. And also how many of the million tabs I've got open at the top of my screen. I have spaces left, so not loads today. Now, this will give them a report that they can look through. So I'm just going to download that. Let's just put it in downloads for now. I normally would download that straight to an area where I would expect property and where. You can see when it was last sold, the price per square foot. So this was last sold 23 years ago, nearly. And you can see broadband in the area, coverage, you can see a picture. The EPC. Now, the EPC is interesting because that is relatively new. So it was done a few years ago, which means it's either been done to either sell or to rent it out. So I think at this moment in time, that's probably been rented out. So we've got all sorts of information of what's been sold in the street, the stats for the area, conservation maps, rail noise, rivers and risk of flooding. Now, there are no rivers there, but varying areas have got canals. But the biggest issue isn't necessarily a river, it's surface water. So as you can see, there's some really hefty bits here that have got high risk of flooding in varying parts of that area. Now, our property is actually not where those ones are. But this is the biggest risk. If water has nowhere to go, it's going to build and flood. And we do get some random spates. So here's the surface water risks. We've also got green belts because people like to know where they are. Landfill. We don't have any anywhere near that particular one, but there's some not a million miles away. So I think in Conduit Lane there is something over that way. We've also got listed buildings, which may be applicable for if they're looking for planning permission. And of course, schools of whatever level, of whatever type that people might want for if they're buying for a family. As well as where the local masts are. We need them, we want the coverage, but we don't want them in our back garden. So everything that anybody in that area is likely to want to know about their property is going to be on this report.